Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential problem. And make sure to stick until the end of the video where I have 3 bonus problems that are similar to this one which you guys can try to solve. Alright, so I have 100 to the power of 200 over 200 to the power of 100. Now, 200, this is the same thing as 2 times 100. So I have 100 to the power of 200 over 2 times 100 to the power of 100. Now, if I have something in the form a times b to the power of m, this is equal to a to the power of m times b to the power of m. So 100 to the power of 200 over 2 to the power of 100 times 100 to the power of 100. Now, this is the same thing as 1 over 2 to the power of 100 times 100 to the power of 200 over 100 to the power of 100. And this is because 2 to the power of 100 is in our denominator, and anything in the denominator is the same thing as 1 over that number. So now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So in this case, I have 100 to the power of 200 over 100 to the power of 100. And this is going to equal 100 to the power of 200 minus 100. 200 minus 100 is equal to 100, so I have 1 over 2 to the power of 100 times 100 to the power of 100. Now, we can go ahead and multiply these two again. So now I'll have 100 to the power of 100 over 2 to the power of 100. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m over b to the power of m, this is the same thing as a over b to the power of m. So we are technically, in this case, factoring out our exponent here, because let's say we had 5x plus 15, we would be factoring out 5, right? So in this case, we are factoring out our exponent because both terms share the same exponent, and in this case, both terms share the same factor. So now this would equal 100 over 2 to the power of 100. 100 over 2, this is equal to 50, so I have 50 to the power of 100, and this is our answer. So I have 50 to the power of 10 over 25 to the power of 5. Now, first off, 25 here, this is the same thing as 5 squared. So now I have 50 to the power of 10 over, if I replace 5 squared with 25, I have 5 squared to the power of 5. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So I have 50 to the power of 10 over 5 to the power of 2 to the power of 5. That's going to equal 5 to the power of 2 times 5. And 2 times 5 is 10, so now I have 50 to the power of 10 over 5 to the power of 10. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m over b to the power of m, this is equal to a over b to the power of m. So in this case, 50 to the power of 10 over 5 to the power of 10, this is going to equal 50 over 5 to the power of 10. Now, 50 over 5, that's the same thing as 10. So now I have 10 to the power of 10. And now we can actually simplify this. 10 to the power of 10 is the same thing as 10 multiplied by itself 10 times, right? So I have 10 times 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 10. Well, now we have 10 zeros here, meaning this is the same thing as 1 with 10 zeros. So I have 1 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zeros. So now our answer here is going to be 10 billion. So 10 billion is our answer to this problem. All right, so I have 15 to the power of 50 over 3 to the power of 25. Now 15 here, this is the same thing as 5 times 3. So now I have 5 times 3 to the power of 50 over 3 to the power of 25. Now, if I have something in the form a times b to the power of m, this is the same thing as a to the power of m times b to the power of m. So 5 times 3 to the power of 50, this is equal to 5 to the power of 50 times 3 to the power of 50. Now I have this over 3 to the power of 25. Now this can also be written as 5 to the power of 50 times 3 to the power of 50 over 3 to the power of 25. And now if I have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So 3 to the power of 50 over 3 to the power of 25, that's going to equal 3 to the power of 50 minus 25. And 50 minus 25, that's equal to 25. So now I have 5 to the power of 50 times 3 to the power of 25. Now, 50 here, this is the same thing as 25 plus 25, so I have 5 to the power of 25 plus 25 times 3 to the power of 25. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So 5 to the power of 25 plus 25, that's going to equal 5 to the power of 25 times 5 to the power of 25. And I have this times 3 to the power of 25. Now, this can be written as 5 times 5 times 3 to the power of 25. 5 times 5 is 25, 25 times 3 is 125, so now I have 125 to the power of 25. Sorry. 5 times 5 is 25, 25 times 3 is 75. So now I have 75 to the power of 25. And this is our answer. All right, so I have 5 to the power of 5 over 5 to the power of 5 plus 5 to the power of 3. Now, this is the same thing as 5 to the power of, well, 5, this is the same thing as 3 plus 2. So I'm going to replace the exponent 5 with 3 plus 2 over, same for the 5 for a 5 in our denominator. I'm going to replace that with 5 to the power of 3 plus 2, and then I have my plus 5 to the power of 3. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So 5 to the power of 3 plus 2, that's going to equal 5 to the power of 3 times 5 to the power of 2. Now I have this over 5 to the power of 3 times 5 to the power of 2 again, and plus 5 to the power of 3. Now, for our denominator, because both terms here have 5 to the power of 3 in them, I'm going to factor out 5 to the power of 3. So now I have 5 to the power of 3 times 5 to the power of 2 plus 1. Now these two 5 to the power of 3's can simply cancel out. So I'll be left with 5 to the power of 2 over 5 to the power of 2 plus 1. Now 5 to the power of 2, this is equal to 25, over 5 to the power of 2 plus 1, this is 25 plus 1. 25 plus 1 is 26, so I have 25 over 26. And this is my answer. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve the equation x to the power of 2 minus x to the power of 3 is equal to 80. So, to solve this equation, I'm going to first start by subtracting 80 on both sides. So now I get x to the power of 2 minus x to the power of 3 minus 80 is equal to 0. Now from here, I'm going to replace 80, negative 80, I should say, with negative 16 minus 64. Now I'm going to rewrite this as, I'm going to first rewrite negative 16 as negative 4 squared and negative 64 as negative 4 to the power of 3. And I'm going to group x squared with negative 4 squared and x to the power of 3 with negative 4 to the power of 3. So now there's two properties that I'm going to use. And before that, I'm going to write this as x squared minus 4 squared, and I'm going to group this minus x to the power of 3 plus 4 to the power of 3. We put this plus because this negative sign distributes. Now, if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. And if I have something in the form a to the power of 3 plus b to the power of 3, which is this is equal to a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. So for x squared minus 4 squared, it's going to turn into x plus 4 times x minus 4. I have this minus a to the power of 3 plus b to the power of 3, or in this case, x to the power of 3 plus 4 to the power of 3 is going to turn into x plus 4 times x squared minus 4x plus 16. Now, because both of these terms have x plus 4 in them, I can factor out x plus 4. So I get x plus 4 times x minus 4 minus x squared minus 4x plus 16 is equal to 0. Now from here, this is equal to x plus 4 times x minus 4 minus x squared plus 4x minus 16. I just distribute the negative sign, is equal to 0. And let's simplify this even more. I get x plus 4 times negative x squared plus 5x minus 20 is equal to 0. So I get two equations from this. I get x plus 4 equals 0, and negative x squared plus 5x minus 20 is equal to 0. So first, for x plus 4 equals 0, all we have to do is subtract 4 on both sides, and we get x is equal to negative 4. Now, for negative x squared plus 5x minus 20 equals 0, well, first off, we have a negative sign in front of x squared, so I'm actually going to get rid of that by multiplying both sides by negative 1. So I get x squared minus 5x plus 20 is equal to 0. And now, to solve this, I'm going to use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So in this case, a is 1, b is negative 5, and c is 20. So I get x is equal to negative of negative 5 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is negative 5 squared, which is 25, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 20, all over 2a, so 2 times 1. And this is equal to 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 80 over 2, which is equal to 5 plus or minus the square root of negative 55 over 2. Now, this is equal to the square root of 55 times the square root of negative 1 over 2. And the square root of negative 1 is equal to the imaginary number I. So I get 5 plus or minus the square root of 55i over 2. So this is 2 more solutions to this equation. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and share this to any of your friends and family.